Good morning to my European friends, and good day or good night to everywhere and everyone everywhere else. Um, First, a few things. There something went a little bit wrong with the picture I took of the reading, but I decided to leave it in the Substack article because I like it when these sort of things happen and I don't notice it in time. It always feels a bit significant, and I constantly talk about synchronicities and auguries and stuff like that on my other Substack articles. So I decided to leave it in, and it is still. I mean, the reading is still visible, so I don't think it matters that much. But I just thought to let you know that. Now, the rune that I have this month is interesting considering the one that I had last month as the focus rune, and it was the Hagelas rune. And wow, it's been crazy, right? I mean, I talked about active volcanoes, but it seems like hellfire was raining down on a lot of places. And we also had hail in the month of June in Italy, of all places, central Italy, which is already piping hot by now. That was very interesting. So the focus rune is always the rune that I talk about in these readings. And the four runes that are around it are just going to exercise an influence on that rune. So that's why I just stick to the focus rune in these previews because it is obviously the most important ones. And then for a more nuanced version, there is always the Substack article, which, yes, is for my paying subscribers because, well, they pay me and they deserve something for their money. So I have for the month of July the Sowilo rune, the rune of the sun, sometimes also thought of as a lightning bolt. The rune is probably the rune that is most associated with the magical will, which is something different than your wants and your desires. It is the purest form of will or magical current because it is implied that our daemon or our higher self, if you will, already knows what we need, which is can be different from what we want. An alcoholic may want alcohol, but he doesn't need it, or she doesn't need it. It's the purest, most laser focus power of the mind. That what will bring us, that what which we can ride in order to bring us to into a better version of our current self. Now, obviously, this is then often used in sports. The lightning bolt is used in lots of logos on sports gear. Whether that's inspired on this rune, well, it's anyone's guess. But sometimes the difference between this rune and the lightning bolt is practically non existent. I'm just gonna leave it there. The old ways, after all, they never really went away, they just adapt to the times, as we all do. But as for the reading, uh, as for the reading of this month, I I feel a sense of caution with the rune, the Sowilo rune, because it's likely that is a direct result of the things that were happening last month on a world scale. And one side or the other side is going to something. I feel something's going to happen, and one side is going to take that as a massive win, a victory, if you will, which is the meaning of this rune, victory. Whether that victory is only in their perception or it's an actual victory, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter in the eyes of both the victor and the loser because of other runes that were in this reading, and I'm just going to mention it without going too much into detail, is going to set off massive, massive Ren feeling. And I just know that with this rune, whoever is going to feel or experience this win Um, yeah, the other side's not going to take it very well, and there's going to be more of that in the full reading. Now, in your personal lives, it's probably warrants much less of a warning. If you are politically inclined, perhaps you too are going to experience this win, this victory, and you're going to feel celebratory over it for something that's happening on the world stage. Now, if you are less inclined to follow politics, then you can still have the feeling of winning, but on a much more personal level, such as in job wise. Maybe you want a promotion, or you're angling for a bonus, or win a trophy in sports, or sports, competitive sports, or really other competitive activities. It's certainly not limited to sports and politics. Perhaps you have some personal projects at home, something laying around that you always felt that you have left unfinished. It's perhaps not the best time to start something new, as the other runes in the reading also point to this. But because there's a feeling of grinding on a personal level. Now, when it comes to closing or finishing projects, then yes, the last few meters in the race, they're always going to feel and seem the hardest. But that's the time you have to push yourself beyond your limits, your personal limits. The rewards is going to be worth the pain, even if you do not necessarily finish first in a race. Knowing you finished it to the best of your abilities can already be immensely empowering. It's absolutely worth celebrating, especially if you outdid yourself. You did better than the last time. Perhaps you had more hurdles to overcome than your fellow competitors. Whatever it is, you should never cut yourself short. At the end of the day, you did participate in that race or in that competition, whereas a whole other people did not. It doesn't matter that much whether or not you end first. Now, this is not to say that I'm that much in favor for a participation trophy, but in a way, I almost am, because I mean, you stepped up and did compete, whereas a whole bunch of others did not. Perhaps you don't deserve a trophy for it, but you definitely deserve to give yourself a pat on the back for it. At the end of the day, losing is a mentality. That's also in life in general. Each time you do something better than the last time is a victory, a personal victory, and you should never short on that. Always give yourself the credit you are due. Now, that's the rune reading for this month. One more thing, by the time this is going to be online, I have not posted the article on Substack yet because, well, they finally finished the renovations in the house. So it's been a bit hectic. So I had to push this out a bit faster than usual because I don't know if I'm going to have access to internet during the move because there's no internet connection in our new house yet. So I'm going to finish the rune reading today on Substack, and it will probably be online either by tonight, or early tomorrow morning. It's gonna depend on how the day is going to go. I thank you very much for your viewership, and I wish you all a very pleasant day and success and victory in all your endeavors.